Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you my Layered Squares box, and it's my blue theme this week. So obviously I've gone with not all of them, but some of the shades of blue that we have. And as you can see, my little box is decorated. This was inspired by a box I saw by Pootles on Pinterest quite a while ago actually, but it's been saved in my little folder. And I thought that this would be a perfect opportunity to use it, and as I say, to show off the blues. So for this one I've used Balmy Blue, Seaside Spray, Misty Moonlight and Night of Navy. So I'm going to make one in reverse, so the base will be Night of Navy this time. I'm not sure how the stamping will show up, but I thought, well, what better way to give it a go than with you guys? So let's get on and make it. So then, for the base, you will need a piece of cardstock that is 8 by 8 inches or 20 by 20 centimetres. And then with your scoreboard, you are going to score all sides at 2 1/4 inches. So 2 1/4 on all 4 sides. And while I've got my scoreboard out, I may as well do the lid as well. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. And your lid that you need is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2 inches or 14 by 14 centimetres. Don't forget to use your shim, and I don't have a piece handy, so I'm just going to grab this piece out of the bin and use this because it's all the same. So it's not going to work because that piece is all twisted. There we go. So the lid is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2, 14 by 14, and we're going to score all 4 sides at 1 inch with that shim in place. Always use your shim, and it allows the thickness of the card for your base to let your lid fit snugly. Okay, so pop that lid to one side again now. Get the scoreboard out of the way. So the first thing I'm going to do before I do any of my scoring, burnishing, etc., is to do my stamping. So I'm just going to grab some of my blocks. So I have my C block, an A block, I'm fairly certain, yep, and a B block. Yes, A, B and C. There we go. And then I've got the Lovely You stamp set, which I absolutely love. So I'm going to pop that one on there, that one on there, and that one on there. Then I need my Night of Navy ink pad. And to make sure that your pattern sits the right way, I'm going to start in this top rectangle here. So I'm going to use my larger image and I'm going to stamp that. Can't actually see very well because of in the centre. Okay, and then I'm going to rotate and do the same on all of the 4 sides. And this knot, it does actually work quite well. I'm quite impressed with this. Okay, so that's that one. Then my flowers that I'm going to put on. Just going to squeeze them in there at the sides. Doesn't matter if they overlap. Flowers overlap in the garden, don't they? So why not? Last one. Just there. And then I have the small little flower here that I'm just going to pop either side of these ones. Okay. On the first one I did, the Balmy Blue, I did actually stamp flowers at the top. Can you see just there? But then I realised once I put the lid on that they're a bit pointless because you can't see them, so that's why I've not bothered. Okay, so that's the stamping done that I needed to. So I can now fold and burnish my score lines. Let's just started raining here. It's gone very grey, very dark and rainy, just in time for me to take the dogs out. That's about right, isn't it? So we're going to cut the 4 corners into wedges. So just take those off there. And the same here. Just cut these wedges off. And again on this side. Cut those down. And the last one. This side. Get rid of those. And then obviously all we need to do is pop some adhesive on our little tabs here. Oh, come on. There we go. And then just this side as well. Oops, and the last one here. Okay. And then we'll just make our basic box up. Pop these in nice and tidy just on there. Okay, and there's our beautiful box base made. And then our lid, obviously we've already scored it, so I'm going to fold and burnish the score lines on this one, and then cut my corners ready. So again I'm doing the exact same as I did for my base. Just all 4, just cutting these little wedges out. The reason we cut wedges, because if we didn't and I left it like that, when I try and tuck it under, sometimes you'll get an overlap or it won't sit as snugly. Can you see? You see how that's just got that small edge, whereas once we've trimmed it, I'll just take those off. When we tuck that under, you don't get anything. It's just a flush and tidy corner. Right, I'm not going to adhere those yet because I want to decorate my top panel. So I've used my layering squares. I've used scalloped ones, and I chose ones that when I lay them flat they would nest together like that. Okay, so I've just picked 3 different sizes, and then I'm just going to put them away while I'm here. So I've used those, and then I've used the 3 different cards. So then I had Misty Moonlight, Seaside Spray and Balmy Blue that will sit on the top. So these first 2 we can quite simply get our dimensionals and pop one in each corner. It's a really simple box actually, this one, and really pretty and effective. So, oops, pop those on there. So the first thing I'll do is take the backing off this one, and then I'll sit this one on my lid. Then again with this one. Trying to be really good and put these dimensionals straight in the bin so they don't go everywhere. And then this one will sit just on top of that one. Now this one, before I do anything with this one, I'm going to turn it over so that's the inside, if you like, and I'm just going to get my ruler because I want to mark the centre. So I'm just doing, as you can see, with a pencil and a ruler, I'm just marking, which for me is 1 inch, so it's nice and simple. Just marking the centre there just like that, so that I can bring my crocodile in, and luckily this just fits nicely right into the crosshairs of my circle. Sorry, my square even. I punched a circle. Okay, and then I've got the beautiful denim ribbon, which I've suddenly become very fond of because I haven't used it anywhere near enough, and I'm simply going to loop it. Now you've got two options here. You can either staple it, which would obviously make it flatter because it does get a little bit bulgy underneath, or you can tie it in a knot. So I'm going to tie it in a knot because that's what I did with my first one, and then just pull that knot right at the very end. Whoops, try not to fray your ribbon. Pull it really tight. You don't want it to come undone once it's on your box. And then I actually even gave it a good squash to try and get it really flat. And then from the side that you have the pencil markings, you can feed your ribbon through, and obviously that knot will stay there. And then you have your loop for your lid. I want to pop on some dimensionals. Now if you wanted to, you could double your dimensionals to give you the space clearance for that little knot, or you can just knot like I'm not. Choice is yours. That's what we love about crafting. Everything is your choice and your creativity. Okay, and then this is going to sit, but I try and get, you'll see how it automatically wants to fall to one side. Let it while you're sticking this on because it makes life easier. And then hopefully that's relatively square, and then once it's in place you can give it a little manoeuvre. But there's my stacked layers with my ribbon. So now I'm going to make this part of my box up. So pop some adhesive on these tabs. That has good use, doesn't it? Swing the card round. And then, come on, roll on, please. Masking very nicely. Come on. I can actually see it, it's just there. It's just saying, no, not today. There we go. And if anybody watches me making my boxes, you will know that I put my two sides together first, pop the lid on, and then I fold these parts in. Just make sure my box is all sitting straight, and then just fold that down, pull it off, and just make sure those bits are re-adhered. And that is your pretty box. There we go, there's your pretty box, and then you just need your sentiment. So I didn't want to have to go through the whole heat embossing on the navy, which is obviously what I've sort of done with this one, is I've stamped on the light, but obviously I can't stamp light on dark because you won't see it. So my theory was, still using the lovely labels, I have some balmy blue here that's been cut, oh, crumbs, I can't even remember, is it 1/2 inch? So I'm just going to punch, no, helps if I probably push it in far enough. I'm going to punch that end so I have the pattern, and I actually used Misty Moonlight to stamp. I don't quite know why, but it's nice, maybe. And then I'm just going to pop these quickly back in here, and I can reuse one of my blocks for my smile sentiment that I've just got there. So I'm going to stamp that onto, oh crumbs, that wasn't meant to happen, but okay, we'll deal with it. And then let's get rid of that so I put my arm in it, and then I'm just going to trim the excess off. And then I have some little, I'm running low here, I need to get another pack out. I used the back of a post-it note, push it in as far as it will go, which will actually be over the edge. But if your post-it note is pretty much in line, you can use that as an extension of your card. So push it right in as far as it will go, and like I said, you can use your post-it note as your line to get your punch right. But obviously I didn't want that to go on there because I didn't think it would look right. So I went with the next size up, which is 3/4, punched that one, and then I'm going to stick this one, oops, onto here. And this is where it becomes tricky, because you've now got to get this size the same. So again, I'm going to snip off the excess, and then let's keep everything crossed, that when I pop this in, well, firstly it doesn't jump all over the place. Testing time, look at that, almost perfect. And then I'm just going to add a couple of basic rhinestones. I'm using the medium size, just on the ends there, and it just almost covers the little mistake with the ink. And then a couple of dimensionals on the back, and you have yourself a pretty box. And the fact that it says smile means that you could use it for any different occasion. What do you think? Do you like them? Thanks for joining me, guys, and I hope to see you all again very soon. Bye!